Hey buddy, it's Victor. It's time for another run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance series. Happy Tuesday, Mosh Pit. I hope your Tuesdays are going off to a great start. We're still waiting for another video across 3,000 likes. We have like 3 or 4 videos from last week that are so close to hitting that goal. So make sure you go check those out if you'd like to see the TM Trainer run happen sooner rather than later. And speaking of amazing here, we have an incredible, amazing art piece of the day submitted a couple days ago by Velaz2. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Title thread was Win Victa Part 2, and good lord, man, like this doesn't even look real. It is so awesome, so incredible. They also said, I like how the other artwork came out, but I felt inspired to do another one. Hope you all enjoy this one. Yeah, definitely enjoy this one, Velaz. Again, this is one of those art pieces that I would love to have hanging up in the office. So definitely shoot me an email if you want to do that. Just make it happen. Man, oh, this just looks so cool. Like, this should be a t-shirt. Like, legit should be a t-shirt. I'm just going to say it right now. Thank you very much, Velaz. And everyone who upvoted that one, let's hop on into today's run and see what we got going on. A little bit rattled, a little shaken today. CA is going to be Tango 08 Foxtrot November Bravo Quebec Zulu. We did end up dropping a run on stream, which ended it was like a 43, 44 win streak on Twitch, which I wasn't too happy about. But that run there was just awful. I mean, we're talking like 0 damage upgrades, zero everything, you know, the usual. And being distracted also probably didn't help as well. Yeah, a little bit shaken in the Isaac confidence right now. I gotta get a dub back on here so we can get back on track. As we're starting off with Black Hole, as well as decent damage, good tiers actually. 3.24 is actually phenomenal tiers. So, and we have this. I'm a little bit mad that Dangle was not being sucked into the black hole. I don't know how he managed to do that. Is it because he sticks to the ground or something? Because normally all enemies get sucked into the black hole. So that's a new one. But anyway, we have this Hangman card here that we can use to get that chest in the previous room, which we might end up doing. Obviously, we're not going to take anti-grav tears because anti-grav tears is bad in my opinion. It's just one of those tier effects that like I just never ever truly enjoyed. Mainly because, like, here's the thing. You all know, you should all know me by now. You know that my playstyle is simple. I like to shoot tiers. I want them to come out of my eyes and go to the target. That's it. I don't need them to do anything fancy. I don't need them to wait. I don't need them to delay anything, like, or wait for me to, like, you know, let go of the fire button. I just want to shoot, and then it reaches the target. That's it. And anti-grav does the exact opposite of that. You basically have to tap anti-grav to make him sort of fire like normal. Which is kind of the reason why I'm not a huge fan of chocolate milk either in certain situations. But to be honest, I would much rather have chocolate milk than anti-grav tears. Yeah, let's go ahead and use that Hangman. Okay. I am going to go into. We could have actually gone into the curse room for half price with the Hangman, and then chose not to. This is getting real risky here. But I chose not to. Obviously, I would love to have Sulfur, however. Sulfur is going to give us Brimstone for 1 full room, as long as we stay in the room. And if we end up getting Car Battery or something like that, we can double it and get Mega Brim. So going on to last week's question of the episode here, I simply asked, what is your updated thoughts on card reading? It's a subject of conversation that we've had a couple of times now on the question of the episode. And it's always fun to bring it up because like it's funny how some people's opinions change given the context of the item, like during what happens like in a usual regular, you know, run-of-the-mill run. And this one was no exception. So I simply said, what are your updated thoughts on card reading? The most upvoted comment came in from Snarblocks. Great name, by the way. It sounds like it should be a Thundercat. Snarblocks said, pretty simple. If I'm low on keys, item room. If I'm low on bombs, secret room. If neither are applicable, I go to boss. Of course, talking about using the card reading portals to go to the boss, or the yellow portal or the blue portal. And yeah, I mean, I like having that sort of versatile nature, that sort of mindset of like, say, hey, you know what? Let's make the item work for us, right? Like, this is something that we need. If we have no keys here, then we go to the item room. If we don't have any keys, but we need bombs, or if we have keys but we don't have any bombs, then yeah, we go to the secret room. If we don't need either, then we go to the boss room. I like that. I like that strategy. I like that Snarblocks. Second most upvoted comment came in from Marcus Cannon, who simply said, I honestly love it. Love using it, getting into secret rooms for 2 reasons. Because it normally tends to get me closer to the boss room, but also because my secret room location radar is way off most of the time. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hey, you know what? That's okay, Marcos. It happens to the best of us. And last but not least, we also had Destruction Dragon 360. Ooh, definitely take that. Who said, I never have a reason to skip card reading. And then they ended up editing it, which I have to read in a moment because we are in a bullet hell scenario here with this freaking room. Said, edit, if I have the HP and odds to go for straight through the boss, I do it. If not, I usually go to the secret room and bomb the keeper to up my chances. If the keys are short, I go to the item room. That's about my priority for order for portals, no matter which ones are available. And again, yeah, like I never really even think about that. Like I'm always glued and locked into the idea of like, let's just go to the boss. Like, let's get this floor over with and then work backwards. I think that is the easiest way to treat card reading. Not happy with getting any damage in here. And we get the Satanic Bible, which I will take, but we can't use it really until the next... We can't use it until after we're done with the boss. So, yeah. Secret might be there. I'm a little bit scared about having this barrel. Oh, never mind. No, it can't be there. I'm gonna check the super secret room anyway, even though I know it's pretty much not here. So yeah, I want to have sulfur here before we go fight the boss. Although I do know that we can get into the boss trap room here. Oh man, this is tough. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna need sulfur before anything else. We just have to be extremely careful in here. My only apprehension here is the fact that we are on 1 HP, and we also are not going to have sulfur for the first boss. But the logic there is that we weren't going to have sulfur anyway if we didn't get that miracle like teleport into the devil deal on the first floor anyway. So that's something we would have had to deal with regardless, is doing this next boss without having sulfur. So, like, obviously I would rather use sulfur to kill 2 bosses instead of 1. So, you know, say I'll be, oh, thank you, game. Yeah, so our tears rate is phenomenal. Like we're looking absolutely solid on that. We know the secret room's not there because it was blocked by rock. So I have a feeling it's going to be on the elbow end of this room. Yeah. There's maybe there. Okay, third bomb's a charm, and boy howdy was it worth it. Okay, we got 2 keys, so this is going to allow us to go into the shop. Now, if there's a full charge in there, that gives us 2 soul hearts to play with. Still not enough for me to warrant. Oh man, sulfur plus 4.5 volt, bro. Come on now. Come on now. You know your boy's going to have to get that. Yeah. Yeah. Now, we have the... We're in a really weird spot here. We are in a spot where, do we take survivability or do we hedge our bets and go for broke with the sulfur 4.5 volt play? I think from a safety standpoint, we gotta stick with sulfur. Safety as in like safety and damage numbers. 4.5 volt sulfur is just such a powerful combo, but man, is it hard to pass up that HP. I am going to go to the devil deal here, regardless of us being able to not take anything. And yeah, I thought maybe we get the mark or Abba Dabba Ding Dong or 9 lives, something like that. It was worth checking, but it's disappointing. So yeah, so we go in and we use the Satanic Bible. We go get the full charge inside of the shop, and then we leave with sulfur. Again, it's very, very, very hard for me not to sit here and say that 4.5 volt and Satanic Bible wouldn't be smarter. But I think that given our damage here and just the potential for scaling, you gotta stick with sulfur. You gotta, right? You gotta. So we're gonna leave here with 3 soul hearts. Essentially, the only thing that's ever happened on this floor here is that we essentially had a bad devil deal. Is how I'm looking at it. We walked to the devil deal. There was like the red chests, and then that was it. So, because we obviously have only 3 HP, we wouldn't have taken anything anyway. It's also a little bit kind of trollish to see Forget Me Now in the first devil deal. Like, that shouldn't even be a Devil Deal item in my opinion, but I digress. So 4.5 volt sulfur is going to be our carry workhorse of the run, and let's see how much it can work. Love to utilize this Queen of Hearts here if we could. But going back to the card reading discussion really quickly, you know, I think that it surprised me how many people took a very versatile mindset approach to when it comes to card reading. Because again, I'm so laser focused on taking the red portal, because to me, like the most important thing is making sure that you get to the boss, making sure that you get it done, and you're possibly prioritizing boss rush. Just gonna read this because I don't feel like messing with these spiders here. And anything else we miss, we can just simply go in with sulfur, easy peasy. But you know, I think that there's different goals for different types of players in Isaac as well. You know, I'm not necessarily motivated to finish every floor as fast as possible, but I do like to give myself opportunities and prioritize boss rush quite a bit. And that does involve usually saying, you know what, we can forego doing any full clears on any given level and making sure that we get more items, more bang for our buck, give ourselves more opportunities to win rather than doing a full clear and possibly just not getting anything anyway. So, you know, it all comes down to play style. Is how it is. But you know, having that sort of open mindset about what do I need on this run, and that's going to determine what we take as terms of portals are concerned for card reading. I've never even really thought about like that. Ignor's got to be here, right? Yeah. We get 2 Yaves here. Nothing. There's no reason for us to go into the shop right now. I do want to work to try to get a full charge before we go fight our boss with sulfur. Very happy to have Sci-Fly here. Sci-Fly is going to give us some extra defensive layers. Not that it helped us here, but going to mitigate a little bit of extra damage for us. Also, we're 2 or 3 for Beelzebub already, which, I mean, having Erling flying would definitely be nice. We need to go back and get that 2 of Hearts card. Don't let me forget that. We should be able to get to Mega Brim here on double Polycephalus. Oh, the other one's still active. There he is. So now we got a Mega Brim. Mega Brim, we do get an HP upgrade and another Devil Deal. And it's going to be a Krampus fight. All right. We'll take a lump of coal for sure. Let's go back and very quickly grab that Queen of Hearts. Now, because we put so much effort into keeping this Queen of Hearts, you know for a fact that the game's listening, and you know it's going to give us 1 heart from it. And I fully anticipate calling that one because it's always funny. Could go in the cursed room. I'm going to choose not to for now because we need to value our HP as much as possible since we're not really getting any help on the Soul Heart front. And again, that was the risk that we chose to go with down the path of not taking the Satanic Bible in 4.5 volts. And you know, whether or not it's going to come back to bite us in the butt, I don't know yet. Still a little bit too early. We're just now starting to transition into the mid game. And we're not quite there yet. Still getting a little familiar with each other. You know, you're not really necessary to go back and go watch some movies and play some games together. But you know, you're comfortable enough to talk about some insecurities and talk about your life and a little bit of the family. You know, we're not there yet on this run. We're kind of halfway there. We're getting close to being friends on this run. Bomb bag is bomb bad. I don't even care if we need bombs or not. There's going to be some people who look at that and be like, oh, what's wrong with Bombag now? Well, Bombag loves to drop some Mega Troll Bombs on you when you're least expecting it. And that's one Mega Troll Bomb too many. I gratefully used Sulfur in here thinking that we were going to be fighting anything, and silly me. Sci-Fly putting in overtime here, but you cannot always rely on Sci-Fly, especially with his movement speed not being quite what it used to be. Do like our shot speed. I like our stats except for our damage. Our damage is the only thing right now that's really lagging behind, and you know, hopefully we can remedy that very soon. Because the more damage we do, the faster we can charge Sulfur, which means the more charges on Sulfur we can get, which means that the faster we can kill things, which means the safer we are. Blah 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 blah. Sun card. Yeah. I'm valuing the Sun card over the Queen of Hearts. But that's only because I'm anticipating getting a regular HP upgrade here and then coming back here and then using it in the sack room. Although I probably should just use it in the sack room regardless. Oof, man. That's a bop and a half of damage there. I'm getting Roid Rage, which is not an HP upgrade, and we get Judas' freaking Shadow. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take it. Yeah, we'll just head on down. Okay, we still have some time left to get to the promised land of a boss rush here. Now, of course, we do have the option of turning into Black Judas if we want to. There's another sack room here too that again we can't really use. But turning into Black Judas would obviously solve a lot of our damage problems. And again, our stats, our tiers are fine. Our movement speed's great. It's actually a little bit too fast almost, and our shot speed is fantastic. It's just our damage, and turning into Dark Judas would rectify any problem that we have in the damage department, which I'm looking forward to hopefully doing. Here, another great use of Sulfur, just making short work of the armored knights here. So we have a very interesting scenario here as well. We could choose to not go and take that Soul Heart and turn into Black Judas now by way of the Devil Deal, or we can take the Soul Heart in that other room and then just kind of hedge our bets a little bit and say, you know what, let's save Dark Judas for insurance. Am I going crazy? I could have swore that was the way to the shop. Might be going insane. Ideally, we would use Judas' Shadow after taking an amazing Devil Deal. Ideally. Justice. I'm gonna hedge our bets a little bit, and let's just go fight the boss on 1 HP. Didn't really want to use Sulfur there, but we kind of had to. Can we get a full charge before getting to the boss? Probably not. Alternatively, we could also wait until we are at boss rush, and then we don't have to look for the full card. We can simply die in boss rush, turn into Black Judas, and then bingo, bango, bongo, you got yourself a free boss rusho. A Hangman card here, which I'm just going to use in here. Okay. Cute game. Lover's card. Okay. let's fight the boss. We did not get a full charge on sulfur. We gotta book it now. We wasted a little bit too much time trying to get this last charge on sulfur, which was not my intention. Now, Brownie's gonna be a little bit difficult to fight with only 1 HP. Unless we get sulfur charge, which we did. Okay, so yeah, so that means that we do this. Turn to Black Judas, we grab the Eternal Heart, grab that, go all the way back and grab that other Soul Heart for the cost of a key, and then we are out like a thief in the night. Although we gotta hurry, man. We got to book it. Now is the time when we need card reading for sure. So we get the Soul Heart. Might as well drop a bomb here, see if we can get a second one. And we did get a second one. Wow, that is super lucky. Happy Tuesday to us. All right, so damage is now looking pretty good. We did lose some tears rate on the conversion to Dark Judas, but obviously it's definitely worth it given the huge damage we get. The Curse of the Maze. I keep popping sulfur thinking that we're going to be fighting in these big rooms, and it turns out there's just a nothing burger of a room. And missing our slightly higher tears rate than we've got what we have right now. We were attacking almost 5 times a second. Now it's dropped down to 4, which is still good. Like, we've seen way worse tears rate, but like, man, it would be a lot better if we had our old tears rate back with this Black Judas build. My God. We found Mom, but the thing is that we do not have our Tinted Skull yet. So we would either be forced to do boss rush, or we got to go back and find our Fool card within basically now. Or we could just go do boss rush, and that's probably going to have to be the choice that we're going to have to make, because we're not going to have enough time to go do boss rush and look for this card. Yeah, so I think we're just going to have to do it. Now boss rush has to be absolutely worth it for us to do it. Now we can do it because we have sulfur. Sulfur is going to make this a lot more palatable. Sulfur plus 4.5 volt makes this a little bit easier. Charge it up for Mega Brim here. There we go. Gonna take the negative for some damage, and man, oh boy, I'm gonna pass on Mom's Knife. Undefined is also very interesting too. Undefined, but it's not pass up sulfur 4.5 volt interesting though, man. I do want continuum. So we are going to reluctantly go for boss rush here. I'm hoping that we get some HP. Maybe have some champion mobs, although neither one of these are champions, so not gonna happen. Played yourself, Dingle. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about here with Mega Brim, making things a lot easier. And we can just continue to reuse sulfur over and over again to give us more and more damage. We're just absolutely laying waste to everything, and this is the reason why we stuck with Mega Brim and 4.5 volt. So we're sitting at 28 damage now. That's 28 damage brimstone, by the way. Make that 30. Yeah, we're just mollywhopping. I will take piercing shots for our regular tiers here. That is going to help us out with 4.5 volt. Yeah, we'll head on down. Good boss rush. Okay, so now we have the long, dangerous road of going to the Lamb. Again, I wanted to take the negative because, not necessarily I wanted to fight Lamb, but because I wanted to get more damage on Dark Judas, and that's exactly what we got. That's exactly what we needed. But you saw the potential to ball out of control there with 4.5 volt and the Sulfur Brimstone turning into Mega Brim. You know, that stacking damage buff that you get combined with the Dark Judas multiplier is just so strong. On top of the scaling of Brimstone, too, that's another thing here with everything. You know, we're going to be hitting like a truck. Don't really need to be taking devil deals here, but we might as well go. Maybe we'll get 9 lives or something. You never know. It's definitely a great Guppy build for sure. You're wondering where that second brimstone is coming from. It's actually the same brimstone. It's just from us having continuum. I know it's a little bit of an optical illusion there, but it does look like we have Incubus, and there's just like the second brimstone that's firing out of nowhere, but that's from continuum. And having the spectral piercing tiers are just so strong in the late game levels. You don't have to worry about obstacles. You don't have to worry about anything hiding behind stuff. You can just shoot right at them. It goes from point A to point B, and like I said at the beginning of this run, that's exactly what I like in my runs. Nice, concise, simple strategy. You shoot, you fire, you kill stuff. That's it. That's all you need. Small rock here. Small rock, of course, has been downgraded to a not. We don't take it. It's not an automatic pickup anymore, but it's a convenience pickup. We pick it up when the time calls for it. Look at that. Gertie Senior or Mama Gertie getting absolutely destroyed, and we get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Can't believe that they would give us just a non-boss drop. Like, didn't even drop an item. Unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, I somehow like cut my index finger on my right hand the other night. I have no idea how. I have absolutely zero clue how I did it. I was doing something, and then like I had like one of those, like, you know, those idle scratches that you have on your leg. Hey, you just gotta scratch your leg, you know. And I started scratching my leg, and I felt something weird. It was like sticky almost. I was like, what the heck is on my finger? And then there's blood everywhere. I was like, what in the world? Where did I cut myself? And I thought maybe I'd like done something to my leg or something. And then I saw like a very, very large amount of blood coming from my hand. And I was like, what on earth is happening? And my index finger just had a huge slice, like clean through. And I was like, what? And I couldn't figure out. Like, I have no, and then to this day, I still don't know what happened. The only thing that is for sure is that I cut it on something very, very, very sharp, because I did not feel a thing. So, like, right now I'm playing a little bit gingerly, I gotta say, because obviously I use my index finger for movement, for moving left on my keyboard. You get one tinted rock here. Maybe we'll get a second one in this. No. Crawl space? Crawl space? Oh, I didn't know the secret room was there, but we'll take it. Yeah, to this day, I have no clue what I cut myself on. So I'm playing a little injured today. I wasn't gonna go on the IR, but you know, I've got a doctor's note anyway. And I was surprised like how deep the cut was too. I was like, man, oh man, I got a hold of myself somehow. It's a very odd thing. It's one of those. Again, it whatever it was, it had to be super sharp because I didn't feel a thing. It's a clean slice too, man. I know it sounds metal, and it didn't hurt at all. Like it still doesn't hurt. The only time I felt anything on it was when I felt a slight stinging. Whenever like we put Neosporin and put a Band-Aid on it, and it got like a little, you know, it got a little medical attention. But it was stinging just a little bit, but you know, it wasn't anything massive. We get our final devil deal here. It's gonna be Lusty Blood. I tell you what. Dealing more damage every time we kill things. I know it's been a while since we've done a good old victory lap, and we probably won't do one today. But we'll definitely make up for it tomorrow for Wacky Wednesday. Assuming nothing catastrophic happens on this run, of course. Like I said, for victory laps and for extra inning stuff, it comes down to basically, for now, it's just going to be like, do I feel like doing one, or how's the old voice doing? And you know, we'll call it there. Like this is like the 2024 is going to be a new year, taking better care of myself, but also, you know, focusing on what matters this year. Getting work done, making sure people are enjoying the videos, taking care of myself, taking care of family and friends. That's the goal for this year. If we have to go with one of them resolutions. Last year was a landmark year for me in terms of trying to take better care of myself. For sure, I lost a lot of weight. You know, the getting medical stuff done to help improve sleep was a big one, and you know, just overall, it was a good end to a long year, and by far and away, way better than 2022 was. That's for sure. In 2024, here's to more. That's what I say. More of the same. More of what made last year so good. One night just wiped out all of our flies. I'm kind of upset about it. Not gonna bother wasting sulfur on Megafat. We were getting sucked in there before he even did the animation. That's a little bit weird. I don't think I didn't notice that game. Again, the longer that we're in these fights, the stronger we get. Obviously, because we can continue to use Brimstone over and over again. Stanley, I need you to chill, bro. Yeah, down goes Stan to Mega Brim. No problem at all. Curse the Unknown, we know we're okay. No, can't do it today, Jello. I'm sorry, buddy. We don't have the HP for it. I would love to take Jello with 4.5 volt for sure, but especially with this being Curse the Unknown, like I don't think we need Jello. It'd be great to have Jello, though. Also great to go in the right direction for once, which of course we are not able to do because that's just not how we roll here. That's not how we do things here. And like it's not even like it was a paper cut. It's like a straight up, like, it looks like something sliced it. I mean, it was deep. It was deep enough to draw blood. This isn't like a run of the mill paper cut. Like, I wasn't even doing anything with, like, you know, opening up like a cardboard box or like a case of Pokemon cards or something like that. Like, I seriously wasn't doing anything that like would have ended up hurting me that bad. It's a mystery. It's gonna have to be. It's gonna be one of those ones that I go up to the big guy in the sky whenever my time is nigh, and I say, hey, I see the replay from that night. I need to know exactly how did I cut my finger on whatever day it was. God's gonna be like, dude, like, oh, you got unlimited knowledge, all the questions of life answered that you can want. This is what you want to know, how you cut yourself at the beginning of 2024 on your finger. Like, yeah, man, like, I gotta know. I really wanted to rip Sulfur there, but I'm going to choose not to, because we're going to absolutely blast the lamb. Yeah, overall, super cozy, nice and easy run here. Shout out to Sulfur, and especially 4.5 volt. It was risky. It was definitely a little bit nerve-wracking not taking Satanic Bible, especially in a spot where we absolutely needed the HP. And end up choosing to go with more offense, and I will absolutely take that one. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great start to your Tuesday. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you click that like button, leave a comment down below. I would appreciate it. Your question of the episode today is going to be, what are your thoughts on the 4.5 volt? What is your most favorite synergy with it? Is it Jello? Is it Sulfur? Is it like Eternal Card? Post them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. It's such a very powerful and uniquely awesome item that we get from the shop. You got to take it no matter what, pretty much any time that you see it, in my opinion. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below. Have a great Tuesday, and as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Asher, Ashley Keaton, and Medic Wolf. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Sinvicta.